Okay. Good day, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Impact Pod. And today in the house, we have a very, very esteemed guest in our midst that goes by the name Jeff Isaac, which is the CEO of Paths to Adventure Council, which is also called Scouts in America and formerly known as the Boy Scout of America, right, sir?
Correct.
Okay.
You're
I'll
correct.
pass the floor to you to introduce yourself and let our guests know more about you.
Well, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. Jeff Isaac, I've been here 8 years.
8 years.
Came here, I've been in this career for quite a while. And I'm the CEO of Pathway to Adventure Council. We have about 1,600 square miles that we cover. We have 4 offices. The corporate headquarters is where I work out of. It's in the West Loop. It's also the office for the Chicago proper, of office in Arlington Heights. That covers that northwest sector. Office in LaGrange that covers all the western suburbs. And an office in Muncie, Indiana that covers from Valparaiso all the way across. So it's all that northwest Indiana area. We serve over 13,600 youth, and we have over 450 programs in that 1,600 square mile area.
Oh,
And we have 5,000 volunteers.
5,000 volunteers.
That's amazing.
That's a nice one. That's a nice one. I would like to trade out. What is Scouting America? Who are they and what do they do?
So we've been around for 115 years. We're the premier program for leadership and character building for young people in America, and been that way for 115 years.
What year does it? How old?
115 years old.
No, like what year does kids start from?
5 years old.
5 years old. So you've been in this since you was that old?
No, I was never a scout. I started
Okay.
fresh out of college
Okay.
into this career. I was found by a headhunter.
Okay.
Back in I went to Alabama State University, and I was found by a headhunter and started my career in Montgomery, Alabama.
So I was excited to meet you today. I'm not due.
Ah.
I know somebody didn't present me, but welcome. It's very nice
Thank you
to
much.
meet you.
Absolutely.
And so I was wondering, has it always been Boy Scout? Has it always been like, well, how does it come towards race? Because I always thought like it was little white boys that are in Boy Scouts and stuff like that. I never actually seen kids in the hood like in Boy Scouts, and So what do you think what effect do you see Boy Scout has towards race?
So let's go into where you live. Let's start with that first. If you live in a place where very few people of color, that means you're going to have very few kids of color in the scouting program. But in Chicago, we have quite a few.
Okay.
New York is going to have quite a few. LA is going to have quite a few. Atlanta's going to have quite a few. Dallas is going to have quite a few. So it's all about where you live. If you're in Birmingham, Alabama, it's going to be quite a few. But if you're in, some parts of Montana or North Dakota, you're not going to have a lot of people of color. So you're not going to have a lot of kids of color there. But yes, we do have quite a few here in this area. And we are the most diverse program in all of Chicagoland.
Oh,
Okay.
All ethnicities are in our program. All religions.
I went through the guide you sent to me, and I saw that the Scouting of America is in partnership. I don't know if it's a partnership with CPS, Chicago. Is it
Public
Chicago
school.
Public School or something like that?
No, we work with individual school principals.
Okay, the school
our volunteers
principals.
work with school principals.
Oh, okay.
You might have seen Chicago Police Department or Customs and Border Patrol or fire departments or aviation. Those are our programs for our teenage youth, starting about 14 years old.
What
And
do
those
they do?
programs are very, very diverse.
Okay. For this, do they go there for like mentorship or they go there
Oh yeah,
for
just like a regular scouting program, but they've been provided leadership
leadership?
by the agents or the police officers or the firemen or skilled trades, whoever runs that particular program. If it's aviation,
Okay.
those people actually run that program as volunteers after hours with those young people. And those programs are very, very diverse.
to teach them about like what they're doing or if they're interested in getting in it.
So I'm not about to say anything about age, but just think if you could talk to let's use 8-year-old you, okay? And you said you wanted to do X in life. If you got in a program that could actually provide that glimpse of what that life could look like before you left high school, so by the time you came through our program and got 14 years old and can join one of our workforce development programs, get in the aviation program, getting in the Chicago Police Department program or Customs Border Patrol, FBI, whatever the case might be, you would take a shot at that
Yeah.
instead of waiting until you got older and got in college or something else and trying to figure out what you want to do in life. Where our kids are focused and developed young. They're learning project management at 8 years old.
So you kind of help kids get discipline.
Oh, they have. Oh, yeah. It's respect, discipline. It is something that a lot of folks kind of take for granted.
For
But
real.
think about people who are true, pure leaders. You look at them as someone who's respectful, who's truthful, someone who understands what it is to make tough decisions and make the right decisions. You can't start that at 32 years old or 19 years old.
You have to
You got to
grow
start
with
at
it.
5 years old,
Five, some-
6
yeah,
years old,
that's
7 years old.
So the program, is it just for a time being, or is it for the lifespan of the
We have
the
people
individual?
who've been in this stuff for 80 years.
80 years?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because
80.
I know.
That people been in this stuff for years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like we have, we I'm an African man.
Yes.
I'm an African
real?
American. Yeah. So I know we have Boy Scouts in Nigeria too,
Yeah.
but
Absolutely.
the way we see Boy Scouts is so different from the way you portray it to us. So I just want to ask. I've been here for a while. I've not really. I know that Boy Scouts exist in America, but I've not really seen or
Yeah,
hear,
engagement.
of what they really do or how effective. Because like the way you say it now, it's all about mentoring, right? Like this lady now, she can't be mentored anymore because she's already grown with. But the truth is this, all those kids, like we hear in this south side of Chicago,
Yes.
west side of Chicago,
Yes.
what has been the impact or what is the effort of the Boy Scout to, go into those communities
Yes.
and let them really know that, yeah, we are here for you. You can do this, you can. Because I've said it a lot of times. The problem with most kids, especially black and colored kids, is mentoring.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what has been the effort of the Boy Scout to, go into all these communities and, share the
Impact-
message with them?
Exactly.
I've been here for 8 years, so I've been pretty intense about it. But let me give you the raw truth about it. What happens in an area like Chicago is all based on having the financial capabilities to go in a particular area. So in the past, people go into these areas and say, hey, you want to join the scouting program? And tons of kids to show up. But if you don't have the leadership, no other funding to make sure those kids have a quality program, the programs will go away. We don't do that in PTAC. That's not something we do. When we go in, we recruit the leadership first,
Okay.
train the leadership first.
Okay.
You have your dollars first. You have all those things in place before you go in and promise something that you cannot deliver. The worst thing I want to see happen is especially a child of color who's always been promised something and never been delivered.
Delivered. So
So I'd rather not go into your community if I can't deliver the program. I got to have those elements in place. So those folks who want to be involved and you want to, stop being on the sidelines, jump in the program. I think this is my camera here, right?
yes.
Jump in the program, become the volunteer. The folks who want to know, move the needle, put the money where it should go. In a place where teaching kids how to become leaders. I'm 6'3". You saw me when I stood up.
It's just like 40.
Little
You stood up like a 30-year-old man.
Still athletic. Play most sports. I'm not good at soccer. I'm not good at hockey. I know you guys are good at soccer. I'm not good at soccer, but I'm not good at hockey. But that's genetics. No matter what anybody tells you, I'm still fit as I am when I was 30 years old. But who's going to teach me leadership? Who's going to teach me respect?
Right.
Who's going to teach me discipline?
Discipline.
Who's going to teach me that I can use language and words to talk to a young lady and not curse her out? Who's going to teach me to pull my pants up? Who's going to teach me to look you in the eye,
Yes.
shake your hand,
Shake your hands.
and
yes.
have a conversation without cursing.
Tho-
gonna
tho-
teach
Yeah,
me that.
yeah,
those,
yeah.
those are those are good points.
Yo, excuse me. I just want to do a follow-up question.
Okay.
Yes, you are very much right. Like we say, education starts from the home.
Yes.
And the most problem with most blacks, because I'm so concerned about blacks who share the same color like me. Because,
Can you say blacks? Why can't you just say African American?
okay, sorry, I'll say,
People of color.
okay, whatever. Okay, I'll say African in American.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm so concerned about that kind of population. Okay, when we say education starts from the family, from the home,
Yes.
from the parent, the mom, dad. Hey, come here, do this. Why? If we know that there's a vacuum in education, like teaching respect, teaching self-esteem, all this stuff. Why is it that we don't prioritize the family, like the parenthood? We send this message because the truth is that a lot of parents are lost in all this kind of
Correct.
transition. So why don't we just focus on,
That's
teaching the
why
parents?
we have people like them.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
You know, that's why we have like the Boy Scout, because it takes a village to raise a child.
It
For
does.
real.
Yeah.
We all have to come. So these
Yes.
type of groups and stuff like that are helping, letting the family know, look, we are here to help with the kids too. We are here to help everybody.
Right.
Is the parents now being open-minded to it and allowing these people in their family? You get what I'm saying? Especially the African American community. It's got to a time where everybody's scared to letting their kids go to these stuff like that because
Well, see, now today, it's way different than it was back in the day. Those parents, those people recruit our kids of color, and they have children in the program. They actually run the program and do a phenomenal job at it. A lot of them have been doing it for a very, very long time. To answer the question about why you don't see them all over the place is because we have to make sure we target where we go.
Okay.
If we go in the area that they say needs the program, like I think all Chicago needs it, but I still need the financial wherewithal. So if you can't remember anything about financial wherewithal, remember this. Besides from saving your soul, there's no problem money can't solve. If I have enough money, I can solve pretty much most problems around here.
Yeah.
I sure can. But absent of that, I cannot go into those areas because those kids don't have the money for the registration. They don't have the money for the uniforms and the outings and things of that sort. So I have to raise that money ahead of time. I have to recruit those adult leaders ahead of time to make sure that program can be viable. Therefore, if you met those kids from those areas, they would blow your mind. They're some of the sharpest kids.
they are.
It would blow. Now, these are not kids from wealthy environments. I know. They were given a chance to learn how to be respectful, a chance to learn how to be disciplined, a chance to learn how to become a leader.
So,
Okay. Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry.
Before I forget this, it might jump my mind. And I don't know if it's true, but I want to ask: over there is nothing like quota system in terms of bringing in kids. In what I mean by quota system is like, oh, maybe
Just say DEI.
and I don't want like let me say people like myself, like maybe they like in the program they might give them like 15% opportunity. The other set of people they might give them like 20% opportunity. Is it all equal base, or there's a percentage of recruitment for the people like myself and others
No, everything is level.
level?
My job is to make sure I level the playing field.
Okay.
My executive team job is to make sure we level the playing field.
Okay.
Our 5,000 volunteers job is to make sure we level the playing field. You know, that might have worked back in maybe 60s or 70s or something like that. But we don't think that way anymore.
Okay.
We think about what it takes to go into an area, what we need to make sure that when a kid from the South Side or from some tough neighborhood or some disadvantaged situation or underserved situation, when they go into our program, you can't tell they're not from Barrington. You can't tell they're not from Schaumburg or some other place, some wealthy or Lincoln Park.
Okay.
Because we make sure we level the playing field first.
Okay.
So, but still, for you to have that, but for you to still go into the South Side, we have to make sure that you're getting enough finance from that area, or like enough. Can you explain that for
So
me?
remember the statement I just said about money.
Okay.
That explains everything. And 99% of the money that we raise
Is
to go into
donated,
the
right?
to go into the black and brown communities come from Caucasian people. Because they understand, they've been in the program, they understand the benefits
the
of the program.
benefit of the program.
That means you gotta get people of color to understand the benefits
Benefit
of the program, to invest in that program.
Is there any plan by the organization to do that, to make the
We've been pushing that so hard it would blow your mind. If you put me in front of any crowd, whether it's 2 people or 200,000, it does not matter. My subject matter is going to be the exact same.
okay?
It's going to be the exact same.
How do you advertise for like to recruit kids or to recruit people?
We have no problem recruiting people. That's
How
the
do you
easy part.
advertise? How do you bring the people
We do
in? Like,
geofencing. We could do advertising in a particular area. But remember, I'm not going to send anyone into an area
that's not
where you're going to recruit kids, promise them something you cannot deliver. And now you have another group of black and brown kids that cannot enjoy the program because someone says my dog got sick or I can't, I can't do it because of this or that. Those
Because-
days are gone.
Because my reason of asking why, so I came here in '99. I came to America in '99, and I only mainly saw Boy Scout like on TV, watching Sisters and stuff like that. I never saw it in my neighborhood. Or I went to a Catholic school first, and then after that, I was transferred to public school. Then we moved to the suburb. Now, like when we go in the suburb, I'll see the kids in Boy Scouts selling the cookies and stuff like that. But I never seen them. And when I was like on the south side of Chicago, or even when I was in my Catholic school, I never understood why. But I see what you're talking about because somebody I feel you. But were the parents informed? Because my mother was African. She didn't know anything about it. I kept telling her that I want to do something like that, but she didn't even know where to start from. So parents like that, how? Like mother, she don't speak English. There's a lot of Hispanic kids out here. Their parents don't speak English or anything.
We have kids of all color. Hispanic, Asian, African American, Caucasian, you name it, all kind of backgrounds. When we go into a particular area, let's use something real simple. Let's use Summit, Illinois. Do you know what Summit is?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay. So the Emmett Till Center has had a scouting program for quite a while. We're now about to really boost them up pretty heavy in the next 2 weeks here.
Okay.
So those folks in Summit has decided they want this program to work for their kids. If you don't make a decision that you want our program, I can't beg you to have it.
That's true.
If you don't become a leader, because we're not going to pick some stranger to be your leaders.
Yes.
You're going to be the leader of the program and invest in your kid's life. Remember again, you're not going to have a person of color, male of color, teach me sports. What?
What?
I picked that up easy. Now soccer's hard as all get out. But most sports, I pick it up pretty quick. From basketball, tennis, volleyball, you name it, anything, bowling, anything. You can. That's easy. Teach me at 5 years old how to become the leader of this community in the future. Teach me how to be the person you want me to be as a shining example of someone in this community that knows exactly what to do to lead people. Remember, you manage things and you lead people. Money, budgets, things that you manage those things. But the people, you have to lead them.
So who's gonna lead a mother that's don't own anything like that to bring their kids? Who's gonna bring those people?
We
in?
can't be everywhere because I'm limited because of dollars. Remember, capacity. I cannot have a program someplace unless I have the dollars to put that program there. Right now, there's probably 10, 15 places that would love to have our program, but they don't have the financial wherewithal or the stability of the leadership. Now, if I came with the money, I could probably get more stable leadership because there's a lot of folks from the Divine Nine, the African American sororities and fraternities that I can tap into, some African American, Latinos, professionals, things of that sort. But you still need the money to make that happen.
Okay. You're talking about the money right now. Let me cite an example. Like you going to school, talking to the principal.
A volunteer is going to do it or something like
that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, volunteer.
I don't. Our professionals very rarely come in contact with kids on a regular basis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you talk to a principal of a school about volunteers. Would it be the school that will pay the funds for the kids or the organization?
Schools don't do that.
Okay.
Schools don't do that. The organization. So we have 450 programs scattered throughout 1,600 square miles.
Okay.
Those programs are owned and operated by those institutions that charter them.
Okay.
It could be a Rotary Club, it could be a school, it could be whoever. Okay. If they're in a situation where they need dire straits and they cannot afford the program,
yes,
that means that we have to work with them to raise the money.
Oh,
but at least they got the leadership in place. At least they got the adult leadership that's willing to, the parents who are willing to jump in and make this whole program work. Whether you're dealing something with law enforcement, or you're dealing in fire and rescue, whether you're dealing with aviation, or whether you're dealing in a regular Cub Scout program with the kids in the blue uniform.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what the color of the kid is. That has nothing to do with it. The ethnicity has nothing to do with it. The area has nothing to do with it. The people willing to jump in and do two things: become a leader and help us fund it.
Oh, okay.
Simple as that. And we have to scrape pretty hard to come up with funding for those particular areas.
Yeah. Are there funding from the government to assist?
No, we get no government funding.
Okay.
No.
So Okay, so you say you've been at your position for 8 years.
I've been a CEO for 25 years. I've been here for 8 years. This is my third market.
Okay, so what attracted you to this?
So I thought I'm 22 years old, fresh out of Alabama State. I was found by a headhunter, said, this company is looking for young executives and we think you fit the bill. Went there and said, okay, this is pretty good. They're connected to everybody. I'll do this for about 5 years and I'll go find something else to do. In that 5 years, I had everybody and their grandmother offer me jobs. Okay? But no one, not a single one of those corporations or entities could tell me where I was going to be in 5 years, where I was going to be in 10 years, or will I have an impact on the Black and brown community or any community I work in. Because remember, all kids, no matter what the ethnicity is, need the program. Don't be fooled by that. It doesn't matter if you could be in the wealthiest neighborhood or whatever kids meet. Those kids need the program. Doesn't matter where you are. So let's make sure we get ethnicity off the table.
Of course.
Children need the program. In today's world, need it even more so. Okay? Scouting is needed now more than it's ever been in the history of our program. We need it more now. There's a lot of things that confuse kids, a lot of directions they can go in that could be very disturbing to them. It can be hard for them to understand it, young folks. We put them around supportive individuals to make things happen.
Okay. My other question would be, like I know I asked earlier on the difference between YMCA, Scouting America. I don't know if you know about KRA.
Yes, I know all
About
these.
KRA. What? Because around 20, I would say 18, 19, I was opportuned to get like a grant from the government in order to do some certifications, which really helped me grow myself at that point in time.
19.
Yeah.
Were you born by that? I'm just asking.
Oh, you know what I'm saying.
Okay, sorry.
No, I don't. I didn't get it.
Don't worry about you. So I was opportuned to they helped me to get grant in order to do some IT certifications. So I would like to know what from your experience, what are the difference and what do you think Scouting America offer better than all these other non-profit organizations?
No, it's not a better situation. It's better for our market.
Market. Okay.
So for our kids, for the folks who are interested in what we have to offer, YMCA has a whole different platform to offer. They have buildings, they have swimming pools, they have gyms, they have kid programs. So the whole family goes into the YMCA to a single building to do their thing. They have camps also as well, and they do a phenomenal job. I have nothing against whoever nonprofit that does whatever they do. But for our niche, we do exceedingly well in teaching young people the things that we teach them.
Yeah. Excuse me. I know there's no perfect organization throughout the whole.
Well, I never use the word perfect in anything in this world.
Yeah, because I remember vividly we have Boy Scouts in Nigeria, like I told you, with their green uniform.
With
right?
the green jersey and the
With their-
brown
yeah,
khaki.
you remember. But there was a time there was a big scandal concerning the Boy Scouts in Nigeria. So it contributed to a decline in their, numbers. So I just want to ask, I know about Boy Scout America too must have had one or two scandal, maybe from the society, maybe from the members. I don't really want to go deep into it. So you as a CEO, what are you trying to do to, nip it in the bud that there could be less crisis? Because the truth is that the number is declining. Oh, am I right?
Well, we have been on an uptick here in the last 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
So we've came through some tough times, and we've been going through some tough times for quite a while. Okay, I can't escape that.
Okay.
But our program here has been on an uptick. We've been having a plus in our membership in the last 3 or 4 years. Our camps are doing well. Our staff is doing well. They seek out multiple situations where young people can thrive in different programs, from working with the financial districts to unions, you name it, to the different groups that we have. So that decline for us has slowed pretty big here in Chicagoland.
Oh, really?
But it's all about where you are. It's the approach that you have. If your approach is to deliver a program that might have been modeled pretty old in its model, you probably have less folks get interested in it. But us here in Chicagoland and PTAC, we're pretty innovative in what we do, and we're pretty excited about it.
So
From From the situation that happened and the decline around 2018, what are the lessons learned then that has improved the organization now?
Some things you can't stop. Some things like a freight train, you can't stop it. It's just going to happen. Of course, the Mormons left for their particular reasons. That was a pretty big hit to our organization, probably nearly 1 million people, youth and adults. That was a pretty big hit. The other things are just things you just cannot stop. And some of those are just simply paying for the sins of the past. This is pre-me, long before I was here. I mean, I'm the first person of color to be the CEO in Chicagoland, period.
Congratulations
Congrats
on
on
that.
Color.
Congrats.
And the first one to be in the major market.
Major market.
We now have two, myself and Houston, other two people in the big, large cities in America. Before I was here in 2017, there's never been one. So that change alone. So all these things happened prior to me being involved in the organization. My job is to make sure that is never repeated,
Okay.
along with our volunteers and our executive board.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I want. How did you feel being the first person of color as a CEO in this field that really never had that before? You get what I'm saying?
They had in smaller markets. There were other CEOs of smaller markets. For a major market, I'm the first one in a major market.
Major market.
I just see it as another stepping stone to make sure that I do the right thing every single day. I will tell you, I don't have a thought process that is, I'm in a white ivory tower or anything of that sort. My job is to make a difference and a change every single day. I have to depart that upon the executives that work for me or work with me, because we have a very great work environment, or the volunteers that we work with. So we have to make sure we depart that upon them. This is a whole different world, different situation. Our job is to make sure we level the playing field. And I love to do this on a regular basis, and I'm emphatic about it. When we go into certain areas, especially underserved areas, if I can break the cycle of poverty, get kids into college, get them into a trade skill, change them, mentor them for the rest of their lives, the whole life. Now, you broke that cycle of poverty. Now, the next generation will benefit from that. And I've seen that throughout my entire 37-year career, breaking that cycle of poverty.
I did a little bit of research, and there's so many opinions out there.
Yeah, 50 million.
I would like to know, is it because of the scandal that led to the change of name, or is it because of being Boy Scout wants to be inclusive that led to the change of name?
Number two, now that when our floodgates were open with young ladies as early as 5 years old, they come in droves. So nearly 20% of our membership now are young ladies.
Right.
So it's because of the second one. We had to change the name because if you're a young lady, you're 5 years old, and you got the word Boy Scouts on your uniform,
Yeah, I didn't like that.
that's not going to work. Now, mind you, everyone in the country doesn't like that. That's not a situation where everyone agrees with it. But right here in Chicagoland and our particular council, we agree with that decision because, if you got a girl who's 12, 13, 14 years old, I'd rather have Scouting America on her uniform than Boy Scouts, which does not correlate in today's world.
Oh, okay.
So you say that you have more females.
Oh, we have a lot more gaining. Oh gosh. So when a young lady joins a program, that's going the opposite. When a young man joins a program, he might bring one of his friends.
Yes. Okay.
A young girl's gonna bring 3 or 4.
Yeah, of course. You come with the whole crew.
Girls come deep. They have a lot of friends. They have a lot of connections, things of that sort. They could bring the whole squad with them, and they enjoy the program. The first African American female Eagle Scout in the United States of America is from this council. She's in her 40s. She's about to graduate in May from Howard.
Wow.
And her world is open. She's had a charmed life, trust me. Especially
What's
at
her
Eagle Scout.
ethnicity?
She's African American.
Okay.
First one in the country.
Yeah, let me ask this question. What is our Boy Scout America take on LGBTQ, on politics?
Get out of my mind.
No.
Well, speak first then.
What is your take? Is it all inclusive to all sexual orientation? Because I could remember one time that it was a no go area for LGBTQ people, but now how is it?
So let's go with the easy one. We're not involved in politics.
Okay.
We're not allowed to be involved in politics. There are people who are volunteers or executives who
Some of
have
America
a
pass-
hold on, have a
Okay.
political thought process, but they got to do that on their own. If you're not programmed, you're not involved in politics.
Okay.
You're not to direct politics or anything of that sort. So I'm not going to tell you anything about politics. My own private political thoughts about things. 'Cause I grew up with my teachers were the children of the civil rights movement. My family was heavily involved in civil rights, but I'm not going to try to sway politics in this organization.
Okay.
That's number one. So let's take politics out of the way.
Okay.
The other piece of it, we're open to all people, all individuals. If you believe in the standards that we believe in, okay,
Respect of who you are, what
respect
you
of who you are, no matter your socioeconomics, no matter your ethnicity, no matter none of that, doesn't matter. We will not tolerate people trying to be prejudiced in any shape, form, or fashion, especially in this particular council.
That's amazing. So, do you have kids yourself?
I do.
Mommy, how many kids do you
I
have?
have 3.
Okay. Were they in the Boy
No.
Scouts? They never.
No.
Okay.
They had other interests. 2 girls and a boy had other interests.
They're not.
They did other stuff.
They're not Africans. Because if they're from Africa, they had no choice. They would be. In Boy Scouts.
No. These are African American kids. No.
I'm just telling you.
Yeah, I know.
They would
but,
be.
But here,
Oh,
my
never.
children
Never.
took on everything from ballet to other things of that sort. You know,
That is so true.
Son did a little
because
football,
back
all
in
that.
Africa, like I know when it got to like 5-year-olds, like going to 6 at school, we had like the Boy Scouts every Friday night, Friday evening. We had like activities that they came and taught us about, like even living in like not in the forest or like camping areas and stuff like that. Yeah, we had that. Oh, I'm so grateful for my father.
yes. Whoever your father was to keep you in, to have you in that,
Boys,
very,
they
very
can't take you
impressive.
anymore.
So, if you don't mind, what are the events that Scouting America engage these kids in?
It'd be easy to tell you what we're not into. Is that they're involved that much?
So tell me, what are you not into?
You can't do anything overly dangerous, like we don't get into things that put kids in danger, things of that sort. Everything we do is controlled. Everyone who actually teaches a program, whether it's archery, you name it, whatever the case might be, they're certified. So that's probably easy. Other than that, kids are into everything. Spelunking, you name it, in caves, they do everything. They do geofencing, they do, you name it, handheld GPS devices, a lot of technology. Just take a look at our merit badges. There's a gazillion of them. It teaches you everything on the planet. Anything the kid wants to learn, from entrepreneurship to business, you name it, technology, we teach you.
So, during the training program for the instructors,
Adult leaders.
the adult leadership, how does an adult leadership comes in? How long is the training section in order to train the adult leader, in order to know how to pass the training down to the little ones? How long does the process take for the training of the adults leader?
This is a really good question. That's probably one of the most important questions I'm having here this evening. First of all, if you're interested in being involved in the program, you must be and go through our criminal background check.
Okay.
That is foremost. Okay? That's the thing that saves us a lot. Criminal background check. It's not 100% foolproof, but it is very strong, like 90% foolproof. And they do a nationwide criminal background check. That's been a big deterrent for us, number one. Number two, you must be trained. You got to know what to do. You can't just walk into a room on Tuesday night and say, hey, I'm a scout leader, I'm just here. We must train you on what to do. For me, number three, before I get to anything else, you can't be boring. If you're a boring person, or if you're a person who thinks that someone just sit down, and kids don't just sit down in a room and just, that's not the way you do.
They're active.
Yeah, it could be, you have an active program. We have programs with 150, 200 kids in them. Wow. We have big programs. We have kids with only 10 kids in them. They must have a quality program. It does not matter. That is quality. They come back over and over again because the quality of your program. Let me say this to you very clearly. It does not matter what ethnicity you are. If you're producing a quality program, those kids will be in the program. They will come and enjoy it. So if you don't know how to smile to a child, you don't know.
You need to learn that.
You don't need to be. You don't need to come near us. If you don't know how to be, disciplined about how to direct it and give leadership and mentorship to a young person, don't come near us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does the training takes like a
How long
month,
does
2
it take?
months, 3 months?
So-
It's not easy to train an
So
adult.
we're second to the military when it comes to training. First of
Okay.
all, you're going through all your basics,
Okay.
learning what it is, especially if you don't know anything about it. You're going to go through all the basics. Then there's more advanced trainings,
Advanced
like
trainings,
wood
okay.
badges. You have online trainings. You're always training.
So your physical training to all of that?
Oh, they do go outside. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They go. You need to know what it is out there.
Because because the Army, for you to, so it takes like 6-month training or something like that.
No, I was in the Army. I was 6 years Army.
I was just going to ask you. I knew.
I'm proud
So what part
military.
of the Army?
I was proud military Army. Yeah, but I'm just telling you, you have to, if you're going to be someone in our older kid program, specifically in the Scout BSA program, that's the young men and young women who are 11, 10 and a half, 11 years old and older. And you're going to be involved in that program, you have to learn how to be outside.
Outside.
Now, the thing is, I came in from the South, from Palm Beach, Florida. Going outside is not that bad.
Yeah, okay.
These people here go outside, it could be 20 below. They will still go outside.
Chicago.
They'll still go out. They'll still go out in the woods. They'll go out and do their thing.
Yeah.
But bless them because they have quality programs. They in it for the kids. They in it to win it. And I applaud them. I'm just not going to be out there. It's not. My blood hadn't thickened up enough to be out in that cold weather like
cold
that.
weather.
But no, if you want to be in the program, you want to be trained and understand how to work with young people and deliver a quality program, we'll do that. But until you're trained, until you are criminal background checked, we're not going to have you in our program. I'd rather not have you in a program than have you as a risk in our program.
Yes.
And so I have a question. So when you say criminal background, like somebody
Criminal
got a ticket,
background check. We know in 1997 you got a speeding ticket.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's bad too.
no.
They'll pass that because you are 16 years old and
They can't
that kind of
take
thing.
you.
Any felonies, anything that's
Okay.
going to be endangering for kids,
For the
things of that
kids.
sort, violence, things of that sort. No, you're not gonna stick around. But something you did as a kid, I remember seeing one of them. It was a older gentleman. He was like 70 something years old. It's just funny as all get out. He was like 12 and stole some hubcaps. I mean, some kids don't know what a hubcap is.
What is that?
That's what I mean.
What is it? Tell me. Oh, got me.
Okay.
Back in the day, old cars,
Listen, we learn every
instead
day.
of nice rims, they had a cap, a metal cap that
Yeah.
went over the rim.
Yeah, I remember those.
So even
We still use it.
1972, he's a kid and stole hubcaps, and now he's like in his 60s, 70s
Rim
or
co-
something.
let me-
Let's use the local language.
Let me tell
Rim
you,
cover.
Rim cover.
Rim cover.
Yeah. Which you used
You
to
didn't
buy.
even know it yourself.
Yeah,
So go
I
to
know
school.
that. We
We just use the
it's
local
very
language
big
now.
in Africa.
The rim
Yes,
cover.
but those kind of things are funny because
your
like
car.
this dude's been in for like 50 some years or whatever the case might be, and a model volunteer, and they pull up something when he was a child. It's funny, but it happens at times. But that person is not any danger. They've been criminal background check, and we do not allow one child along with one adult. It's a too deep leadership. If there's children room, you always have
I was
two
going to
adults.
ask about that.
Always
too.
two adults.
Okay.
Yeah.
The registration process for the volunteer. Sorry, the registration process for the volunteer.
Very, very, very different than it has been.
Yeah.
in-
Is it online and is it user friendly? There's some online portals you're trying to fill in the forms,
Yeah.
and you keep having issues. And are there people, phone numbers you can call in order to say, "Oh, I'm having difficulty in getting this form filled. How can you help?" How is that process like? Is it user friendly?
Full disclosure, our technology is developing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It is developing. It is still trying to get the online application done. They're working on it. It's coming out pretty soon.
Okay.
But before then, it was all paper,
All paper. Okay.
sent to our headquarters, and they run criminal background checks. And that's how it worked. But now we're trying to do it online where it's a lot more seamless, where you can have 3 or 4 clicks and just
Okay.
and submit your references and things of that sort, social security number, and we run your background check. That's coming very soon,
Okay.
but it's developing.
It's the paper trail right now.
We still have paper by and large.
okay.
So they're testing out the online version.
Online
I think
version.
when it really happens and they are able to make sure that it is workable,
Okay.
it will go over like wildfire because everybody's waiting on it.
Because I know a lot of people would prefer to just go
Online.
to online and just fill in their document
absolutely.
rather than getting a paper, filling it
Absolutely.
up, going to the USPS, trying to mail it out. No.
Yeah.
Some people, that's another level of stress for them.
It is.
But going online will make it even much more easier and, stress free for certain set
And our
of people.
folks in Irving are trying to eliminate that. It is stressful, especially with this generation. Young millennials, Zs, all those.
No patience.
They have I know you're probably a millennial, a young
Yeah, she
millennial.
is.
Yeah, so they don't know a whole lot of things. They have no patience.
Yeah, they don't know.
They
Yes,
are
they
not
don't know.
they're not tolerant of
They are-
anything that's slow.
Exactly. They're not patient.
Yeah.
They want it fast,
Immediate.
no.
So we're working on that.
Okay.
So just know that we're working on that. It's not something that we are remiss from. We know that's an issue.
Okay.
So I'm not whatever. I'm not. But what's the name? My question is, so let's say, let me use an example. My little cousin, he's how do you call those, sorority or something? What is it?
It's fraternity.
For them.
Fraternity.
Yes.
So when he
I'm a
got,
fraternity. I'm Phi Beta Sigma.
which color is that? Is that the
That's
red?
blue and white.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
So he's the red, and they do the stick and stuff.
He's red and
But-
white. He's Kappa. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, he is Kappa. So when he got into some troubles with the law and stuff like that, they all stepped up and helped. Like, hey, this is what happened. They even helped him. Where one of the brothers was a lawyer and was able to help him.
That's normal.
So do Boy Scout have?
Scout in America.
I'm sorry.
Scouting
The
America.
Scouts in America have opportunities like that, even towards the job. Like when I was growing up, I was in the Best Buddies program. So no matter how old I am now, since I'm not a man now, well, no matter how old I am when I put in an application for anything, it's always something proud for me to put in like my extra something about me that I am a best buddy, because I'm still into connection with the people that I was friends with in the group. So it's Scouts in America. Do they have that opportunity too? Or even when it's for a job application in the future, hey, I'm trying to get into this, but I was a Boy Scout. Do you have let's
say like a reference, using it
Yeah.
as a reference.
So let me say this to you. This might shock you. It is one of the most sought after things on applications, especially if you're an Eagle Scout. Those Eagle Scouts usually have pretty much anything they want almost. They So let's put it to you this way. Let me give you the magnitude. Most of the people who've been to the moon are Eagle Scouts. A lot of your CEOs, a lot of your corporate leaders, a lot of your military generals, a lot of folks who run things are Eagle Scouts. So no, it's probably more potent than anything anywhere in America.
okay?
Eagle
So
Scout.
your brotherhood is different.
Yeah.
How do I enroll to be an Eagle Scout?
Yeah, so being an Eagle Scout is a little bit different world.
I want to ask a question.
Yeah,
There is the guest scout, right?
they do, but we're not affiliated.
They're not
That's what I
affiliated.
want
Yeah,
to know.
our girls are in our scouting program,
Scouting.
Scouting America.
Okay.
The
So
girls
guest
who are
scout
in
is
troops
so
are in a Scouting America
Okay.
troop, a girl troop.
Okay.
We don't use the word Girl Scout.
Oh,
We never use that word.
oh, okay. I want to know what is the duration of the boot camp, the Scouting America's boot camp? Like they normally have boot camp, right? Do Scouting America have boot camp?
Are you saying summer camp? Like kids go to summer camp and ride horses and four-wheelers and all that stuff?
No,
What is a boot camp?
like this military training sort of a thing that, okay, you go for like 3 months.
Oh, no
For the
such thing here.
physical, okay.
No. Our trainings.
Because I was trying to see if I'm gonna have to work it out and stuff like that.
No. So let's use something real simple. If you're giving a scout leader and you're training outdoor skills and things that sort, guide to safe scouting, all those kind of things, yes, you have to be outside. Like I said, if you're in Florida, not a big deal. You know what I mean? But the people here, it's not a big deal to them because they're used to it. They know what to do.
Definitely.
Okay. But if you're going to one of our high adventure bases or you're going to summer camp and you got to do a lot of walking, hiking, you have to take a physical, especially as an adult. And if you're, not physically fit to do that, we don't want you on the back 40 somewhere passing out. You got to take a test to do that. You have to have doctors approval.
Approvals. To do
I'm a boxer.
physical.
Okay, I am
Yeah.
physically and mentally.
Well, that was just why he's looking at you. Oh, yeah. No. Our stuff are high adventure bases. Our folks, our high adventure bases, our adults and kids love going to those.
I was thinking we could send this lady.
Yeah, but there's no boot camp where you go and
Okay.
work out in the woods
Work
for
out
3
in the woods.
months and all that stuff, become a scout leader. No.
Okay.
Yeah, you made mention earlier on putting some of the kids in maybe the Chicago Police Force in order for them to be mentored and get
That's called an exploring program.
exploring.
Exploring starts at 14 years old.
14 years.
It goes to
okay.
20.
Okay.
Exploring is simply career exploration. It's been around since the late 60s. And our kids are in all types of career exploration programs. You just kind of name it. I named some. It's aviation, law enforcement, fire departments, you name it, skilled trades, all kind of.
I think when this Scouts in America needs to be out there more. The reason why I'm
Oh, I
saying
agree with you. We need to be out there.
Yes.
More people need to know
Yes.
That's
exactly
what I'm
the
saying.
reason
what
why
you're
I'm saying
learning
that-
today. We're doing here locally our job to kind of push that even more so with 15-second commercials, things of that sort. But again,
I understand that.
It's all
money.
about the funding, right?
Gotta be funded because the TV station's not gonna give you that airtime for free.
I understand that aspect because getting a job right now,
Yeah.
it's something else. Like it for me. You said exploring. Me, I would call something like that like internship.
Yes.
That would help the kids in order for them to be able to identify.
And we do that. We do set that up for kids all the time. All the time.
Okay, to identify their career path.
Yeah, absolutely. all the
Because
time.
not everybody that is done with school knows what they want to do.
So let me shock you with something. Not as a particular unit. A unit meaning Cup Pack Scout Troop.
Okay.
Cup Pack Scout BSA Troop. Venture Crew meaning high adventure, exploring, STEM, any of those programs.
STEM also.
Oh, we're the STEM program for Gary City Schools.
Wow.
Yeah, the elementary school STEM program is us.
Wow.
Yeah, we fund the whole thing. We raise the money for it. They got all supplies from us. So I started some years ago, and it got some, got a shot in the arm. I worked with the folk from Steve Wozniak's STEM program, WozEd. His team, his CEO and vice president are really good friends of mine. We do a good job, but we supply about 950 kids STEM program.
Okay. I would like to talk more about that STEM program.
Yes.
If you can elaborate more on it.
Yes. So STEM can be placed anywhere.
Okay.
Literally anywhere. The thing is, you got to have the funding for the equipment and things of that sort. Foundations in Indiana help us raise the money to make sure those kids have those
Quality.
iPads and all those things they need and things of that sort. But you can put it anywhere. If you have the funding, you can put it literally anywhere. If you are in a school that already has STEM, God bless you, and I'm glad you have it. A lot of kids don't have that.
Yes.
But if you got the funding,
Something.
we in Pathway to Adventure Council could put that program anywhere.
And anywhere. Any organization.
Anywhere. Remember now, the 450 programs that we have are located not in, we don't own those programs. They're owned by the entities, the schools, the organizations, the churches, the Rotary clubs that fund that Lions clubs that charter them. We don't own them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I have a question. Like when something like COVID happened and stuff like that, what effect do you have on the community around you? Do you come, or even like what happened if Florida, the hurricane in Florida, or New Orleans at that time? The Boy Scout volunteer themselves.
Oh yeah.
Scouts, excuse me, the Scouts in America volunteer themselves to help out.
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay,
So let me give you a good example. This will hit closer to home with you, me specifically. 2014, what happened in Haiti?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay. Within 48 hours, I was able to garner a large truck, plus over 30,000 pounds of supplies, and another individual used his plane and flew them into Haiti.
Okay.
That's Scouting America.
So do you already have funding that you put aside?
No.
Or is this when
I
it
had to rate
happened?
when it happened.
You call everybody and say,
Yes.
hey,
The
we
network
have
is
to-
deep.
Okay.
So whenever it happens, you're always there.
Network is deep. I can reach out to the right people and say, okay, we're going to do X, X, and X, who's involved. Remember now, this is not just a handful of people now. This is,
a big.
we have over 110,000, we have 100 million alumni. I think about 50 million are still alive today that came through our program. So we tap into a whole, you'd be shocked at who's
the
involved in
resources
scouting.
there.
You'd be literally surprised at who's involved in scouting.
Wow.
You'd be
So-
surprised.
Yeah. So what is your communication with like international
Yeah,
like towards
organization.
organization
With other
Is-
countries.
Yeah.
So
no, like the UN, like the
United
WHO.
Nations.
yes. So let me explain. In your uniform, when you were in Nigeria,
Okay.
you had a emblem that was round on your pocket.
Yeah, sure.
That's the international emblem. We all wear that.
Okay.
All countries that have scouting wear that.
Mm-hmm.
It says we're national, international scouting program.
Do
That's
you-
what that emblem that you saw in your
The
uniform.
emblem.
So does the program offer a chance for y'all to meet each other or communicate?
Oh yeah. They have
with-
world jamborees. Kids from all over the world
I know that.
come there. It's a pretty big deal. It's a huge deal.
Yeah, I know.
It is probably, and for lack of better words, of sounding too corny, it's probably the best of the world. Let me explain what I mean by that. It's not that the people are rich or poor. It's that the people with the right attitude, the right discipline and leadership from all over the world are showing up at one place at one time.
That's amazing.
When you go see that, you'll see something totally different of what you see in the world now.
So it happens every once a year or
No, I think it's every 4 years. I don't know when the next one's going to happen. I guess I can't remember. It's coming up pretty soon.
Okay.
Our national, meaning the United States, Scouting America is next summer in 2026.
Okay, and-
And Summit.
And so, and in the Scouts in America, what impact do you have like towards kids' mental status? Is like when the kids are in Scouts in America and they're not safe at home or whatever, what effect do you have on that? Or
You're trained in that as a scout leader specifically, certain protocols, especially if you see saying things that you have to report certain things if
so
you're
it's
trained.
easy for kids to, hey, I trust my Scout leader. I can talk to them.
That happens quite a
This
bit.
person, something like that.
If something's going
So-
wrong, that happens quite a bit.
Oh, okay.
And I'm sorry.
no problem.
And in the Scout, like if anything happened within the Scout, like if there's got to be a way where they can communicate. If like I don't know how to explain it.
So let me explain. So I'll help
Don't
you out.
worry. Yeah,
Okay.
The reporting system is fast and furious now.
Okay.
We've learned our lessons from the sins of the past. That reporting system is fast and furious.
Okay.
I'm telling you, they know exactly where to call. They know exactly who to reach out to immediately. And that thing is flooded
Okay.
for the most minute things,
Okay.
like giving my child a high five too often or something. They
Yeah.
put all kind of crazy things in there.
Okay, that's
but
yeah.
the serious stuff is in as well, and we address it immediately. But we don't have incidents a lot of times what youth and adults like they had back in the past.
Okay,
'cause
yeah,
our-
you say
from a
so.
background check and too deep leadership, all the things, all the barriers to abuse, we put all those things in place. Now, I'm not telling you that's 100%, but it's not happening the way it did, and we stop it immediately, so it does not become an issue. If
Okay.
it does, that means that someone's not doing their job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and one other question I had towards like disabled kids.
We have a program here, big time for it.
Okay.
We have a whole group of scout leaders who do that,
Okay.
like a whole big cadre of them.
I like that.
Is it possible for a program like this to be in collaboration with the city or with the schools or with all these
We would love to have a
recreation
formal
centers?
agreement with the school system, but that's difficult. So we deal with principals in individual areas, individual school districts and things of that sort. That's much easier.
Easier.
So
Trying
for
to go downtown and try to pull that off is
It's gonna be hard.
it's the act of Congress.
The reason why I'm saying is that I'm being particular about African living American and African American, they would call it, because the fact is this: we see some after school programs that are just. I don't want to use
I
unnecessary
know exactly what you're talking
words.
about.
Yes.
I'm aware of those. I'm highly aware of those. I've been aware of those my entire career. Let me be as politically correct as I can. in the most underserved communities,
Yes.
you have to bring something more
There.
than trying to teach me sports, or give me a basketball, or throw a football. I can still run a route right now. It's not a problem. You have to spend more time on teaching kids how to become leaders, how to have self-control, how to use the language, how to actually learn how to speak to people, learn the positive side of life. Because believe me, they're getting battered out there, young kids. And if they don't have a positive person to go to, a positive group of role models to go to, it gets even worse. And kids of color, of course, become another stat in the system. You got to prevent that.
Yes.
What's the adage? It's easier to build strong children than to repair a broken man.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I don't know who watches your show or what they might feel about what I'm saying and not saying.
Yes.
I don't get into the online stuff and internet cowards and stuff like that. I'm going to speak the truth all the time. I'm not going to run from things or tell you stuff. It is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I see, don't let me say we, let me speak for myself. I see a lot of young kids that I believe with the vast opportunities in this country should tap into such a program. And I believe that for me, I believe that the most effective way of doing that is being in their faces regularly. And how do you be in their faces as kids? The schools.
We go to schools that allow us in.
Oh, so there's also the schools that
School
doesn't allow
access.
you?
Yes, the school access problems. So you don't have enough time on your show to discuss the 50 million nuances of actually penetrating this area. So let me give you a good example. Let's say, for instance, I was down south,
Yes.
okay, where a lot of black excellence is.
Yes.
Let's use any city, any Atlanta,
Jacksonville.
any of those places. It could be Dallas, Birmingham, you name it, okay?
Yes.
Charlotte, wherever the case might be. They have a higher percentage of coming together as a community to make the program work.
Walk
And make programs work, even if it's not scouting, make programs work for the people.
to the people.
Think about it.
How is that possible?
Easy.
Oh.
You just have to care
Yeah.
about someone who's not you or not your children. You have to put the time, energy, and money. You got to be a doer, donor, or door opener to make that happen. Bring your time, talents, and treasures to make that happen. It can't be somebody else's problem. If you're a person of color and you see that that is a problem, you got to be in it to win it.
To win it.
So, and I have a question. So you said that you don't have anything to do when it comes to politics and stuff like that.
No, I'm not involved in
And-
politics. I have my own. All of us, everyone on the planet has their own political thought process.
Exactly.
But we're not allowed to be involved in politics.
So for you to go to a school or anything like that, you have to be invited or allowed and stuff like that. Have you ever tried where it's like where all these schools have after school matters and stuff like that? Have you ever tried to make it where it's a requirement in schools still in the system?
We can't mandate.
You can't mandate.
We can't mandate schools work with us or have our programs. But we
Yeah.
want any school, any group that wants to have a Scouting America program. We have a lot of programs. We have one of our
They
programs.
can only want it. They can't make it like, oh, hey, this is required before you go. You know.
We can't make anything required. The school can say, hey, we're having this program. We're recruiting adult leaders, and we want you to get trained and have a program. Then we're going to invite the kids. Remember, I'm going to say to you, and I'll say to your audience, children are not the problem. Kids are not the problem.
They have no
Anything with
choice.
positivity and excitement and things that sort, they'll join it. The problem are the adults willing to get involved and make it happen.
Yeah.
That's true.
I second that.
Yeah,
thought.
I want to go to a question. There was this guy we had on our program, on our podcast here. He's an African American. So he's been to jail for 27 years. But the way he spoke, you can never know this guy has been to somewhere for 1 month. He's so articulated. He can speak well. He said even in jail he had like 2 degrees, all this stuff.
Even before that, didn't he say he was a scout or something going on?
yeah,
The star
yeah.
athlete.
Yeah.
Star,
Yeah, he
Yeah.
said he was a grade A student. Unfortunately, he got caught up in the system, and then that derailed
That's
his
another,
life.
yeah.
So I told him that how much I would have wished that the city, because the guy sounds so loaded that it can influence a lot of all those kids. Because you need to hear this guy's story that gang, what did he call it? Yeah, he said gang was the in thing then.
Yeah.
If because you see all these big bros come back home with all the dollars, with the flashy cars. So he felt like, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make it too. So, and this thing still happens till today. All those kids, they look at all those guys that come back, all those stuff. They see the big cars. They see the flashing dollars. They want to be like that too. So I believe that Scout in America can work with such a person and send. We have a lot of them who be able to turn their life around.
But they won't do that because they do the criminal background, right?
Yeah.
So you won't work with.
So are you meaning a specific age group?
Yeah.
What age group are you talking?
I would say from 10.
From 10 to.
No, we started 5 years
17.
old. We started 5 years old.
I know.
But if you are in some situation where you have criminal activity, it's going to be hard for you to transition to our program because you're not going to pass the criminal background check.
Oh.
So we're going to engage in you. So there's a group out there who work with young people like that. There are groups, there's people get federal money, state money, county money, you name all kind of money to work with people that victim
been in
of
the
gun
system.
violence, been in the system, things of that sort.
Okay.
There's a lot of money for those folks. There's not a ton of money for folks like us.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So people are not into preventive. We're into preventive. We're going to stop you from getting there.
So you don't have, because you say that everybody that's a leader or anything in Scouts of America, you go through a criminal background check and everything. So do you have any programs that the kids get a chance to see these people that been through the system and made it out and stuff like that? So that's not possible, right?
So I won't say it's not impossible. Pretty much anything is possible. So back in my early days, my 20s, I was in Montgomery, Alabama. That's where I started my career. And that was an awesome place to start my career because the whole community, no matter what the ethnicity were, no matter what the socioeconomics, they made sure they supported me heavily. I mean, like they were not shy about it.
Yeah.
From CEOs to ground roots people, they really were involved in make sure things happen. I had a program at a place called Mount Meigs Youth Facility, huge complex, and they had a program where I came in once a month and brought in speakers. And one time they allowed us to bring adult prisoners into that system. This is late 80s, early 90s. It was extremely effective. Extremely effective. So anything can happen. It's based on who's allowing who to do what.
Okay.
And it did work. I'm telling you, it worked. It worked extremely well.
Yeah, so you talked about a community that wants it, that engages. I don't know the right word to use. I don't want to use, like, a community that could not afford the program.
That's why we raise money. If they want it,
But they want it.
we'll raise the money.
You will raise the money
Yes.
on their behalf. Oh, okay.
But I'm asking you, though, as a community,
Yes.
you must come together, whoever you are,
Okay.
and say, I'm going to have so for instance, we like to have 2 adults for every 8 kids, 8 to 10 kids, okay? Make it easy. You need more than enough adults.
To get engaged.
I need to make sure that they're engaged in the program. They want to see this happen, okay? Because I don't need you to wake up one day and say, my dog got sick and I got to take him to the vet so I can have the scouting program.
Okay.
Then the next week, my job called me on. I lost. Now you got in 2 or 3 weeks, and now these kids don't have the program. When we promised them a great program, because you only got a handful of people trying to run the program.
On the program.
So we don't allow you to have one.
Okay.
The adults must have their act together first. You want to change something. You want to change some young minds. You got to get your act together first.
First. So that's where the training of the volunteers
Correct.
comes in.
Wow.
Correct. The recruitment of the adult leaders, the training of the adult leaders, from the background checks, all the stuff they need to understand to run a quality program. And don't recruit people who don't know how to smile.
I don't know how to smile.
You don't know how to talk to kids.
For
You're afraid of bugs outside or whatever.
Bugs.
No. They might be someone who makes the food or whatever, or the parent helper that helps out, whatever. But, they're not going on outings. Don't be afraid to get on a four-wheeler or a horse or swimming. Or, so, we're going to teach you all that stuff. But you got to be willing to do it.
What's it?
Yeah.
Can you handle the horse part?
I would not forget.
No, you taught all those things. We don't let you as a neophyte ever, even if you experience, do anything in our organization without somebody certified teaching, giving you direction. You're never out there by yourself.
Oh, okay.
Been taught. But as the scout leader, though, as a person who's interested in changing a young person's life, breaking the cycle of poverty, you got to be in it. I don't mean it halfway. Stop all the other crazy things you got going on as an adult and focus on the future. Especially if you're trying to be a person of color and trying to make some changes, focus on what the future looks like. Someone fought and died so I could be where I am right here.
For real.
Okay? Yeah. I grew up an hour and a half north of the Evans Pettus Bridge. And that event happened 30 days after I was born. Some people died. Some people fought. My family had to die. My family had to get involved. Heavily in civil rights. Somebody had to do something. And I wouldn't be here today. So you, as an adult, have to do something and not just say that's for someone else. It is not for somebody else to come in your community and raise your children. It's up for you to do that.
That's what's going on. That's my biggest thing that I'm worried about in the system today. Like in America, mainly, they have so much funding for everything else, but when it comes to education for the future, we're not having like 2 weeks ago, Chicago system. They was talking about the teachers in Chicago and how the payment and everything's supposed to be going. You don't have fun. What's going on?
I'm not involved in politics.
I understand
whether
that.
Teachers or whoever these people are
Exactly.
that are involved in all these things they want to get involved in, that self-interest or whatever it is jobs or whatever it is they do. That's not my focus or my drive. My focus and drive is for all those young people who need our programming that don't have it, even STEM. If I could just get a STEM program with some adults who are ready to actually teach that program and do it well. You know what I mean? When I mean do it well, be there for the young people. Not wake up somehow, okay, I'm going to skip this week or whatever case may be, or these 2 weeks or whatever because I don't feel like it. I woke up on the wrong side of bed. I don't give a rat's butt about that. Don't get in it unless you're here to win it for these young people. Someone fought for me, so you got to fight for the next generation.
Yeah.
So I understand that. So I'm saying, like, when they was discussing about the schools and the teachers and stuff like that, you still don't have no outfit on that, on the input on that.
And Pathway to Adventure Council do not have a dog in that fight.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is not our domain
Okay.
at all.
Yeah.
That's somebody else. That's their fight.
That's their fight. Okay.
Okay.
You were the one who started with a proverb that it's 4 eyes that give birth to a child.
Yeah, it takes a
and
village
the
to raise a
village
child.
It does.
But
That's what I've been talking about.
In our own culture, we say it takes 1,000 eyes.
Yes.
I've been talking about that the whole time. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So for me, like I said at the beginning, that the family has a stake to make your job easier. You are just like, if they say it's 1,000 eyes, you are like 500 eyes out of the 1,000 because you leave your own home. You want to raise up somebody's kids to get better, to get mentorship, to know how to be a leader, to be able to speak well, to dress well. So, but I could remember in the olden days, in some years back, there was no lack of trust from the parent to the outside world.
Because the world has changed greatly. And so many organizations, so many entities have had to go through battles over that situation. And it is not easy, but the world we live in today, in 2025, is a world that we could do one or two things. Sit on the sideline and do absolutely nothing. Or get in it to win it for these young people. And get out of all this craziness that I hear about, especially in Chicago. There's so many wackadoo things that happen here. It's unreal.
So much.
Get away from that. It's just insane. The amount of time that's wasted on mindless, senseless things is insane. The amount of money that's put into things that go nowhere.
It goes
blow my mind.
It is crazy.
But
like
I
even
see it happen. I'm just like
everywhere.
Yeah, it just
All you could do is really
it's
just-
self-interest. But I cannot say this more.
Okay.
You could change your world.
Wow.
You can't change what's happening in Guatemala. You
At
can't
all.
you can change what happened right here on your block, your city, your community,
Yes.
your neighborhood, your ward, whatever the case might be.
Yes.
But you got to be in it, though.
You know, yes.
Nobody coming on a white horse to save you. Nobody else is going to, that's not going to happen.
Because like I said before, I would, for me, I don't know. I'm just a one man. This program, your program is a program that I believe the city should come in for the young kids, because you would engage those kids from school and after school, and it will have an impact in their homes. And like some kids will, even just because of your events or whatever
Just
you're doing,
the city have where they are pumping the money. Where there's
because
nothing
of what you're doing for the kids, might encourage other kids or those kids to want to come to school every day.
Yes.
Because they will know that, oh, maybe after school there's an horse race,
Correct.
or there's training on management.
You're correct.
Things like that. We
You're
get their
correct.
attention and step into the program.
You are correct.
And have a much more better environment and have a much more sound mind for
Everything
the
you're
kids.
saying is absolutely correct.
But we need the city to let the schools
That's what I'm saying.
get into these programs, support Scouting America to get this program in the school premises
And the
in
way
order
I'm
to
saying it,
encourage
like, we
the
can't
kids.
need the city can't do it. I
Because-
feel like the city has to make it where it's a requirement for the
Because
schools
I
to
won't
have
I
this.
won't lie to you, when like I said, a certain non-profit organization like this really helped me, because they do that for like you said, for people that just left the prison and how to put them into the system, and others that want to do some certifications they do the training, they pay for the training classes, they pay for the exam, stuff like that. Encourage someone like me to be where I am and still looking forward also. So I believe your program will be one of the programs that would encourage these young lads, because I tell you, these young lads are very brilliant, but their mindset is somewhere else. It's not in the
They
school.
are. And I'm going to tell you, they really are. It doesn't matter where you are. And remember now, even kids in suburban areas need the program.
Everywhere.
You have single parent homes, you got all kind of things going
Yes.
on. Kids need outlets. You have kids who are, single child. It could be any situation going on.
Yes.
But they want a group of friends and people of like mind that they can learn from and grow with. And these people are friends for their lifetime.
Yes, exactly.
But you have to do it. So now back to remember now, this is not, I have no authority in any
I know,
realm
yes.
political. I have no authority in no realm when it comes to the education system. I have no
Yes.
power in any of the city government, none of that stuff. I that is nowhere in my
Yeah,
wheelhouse. I'm not trying to get in that wheelhouse.
Yes.
My job is singular focus. When communities call and they want a program, we'll do whatever it takes to make
get
sure
a
they have a program they want.
I don't know if my finding was right, but it looks like the former president was back in the day.
Everybody's a scout.
Yeah,
Everybody's
Yeah,
a
because
scout.
I did my find out. I saw
everybody's
him
scout.
on the set. I was like, okay.
Yeah,
It looks like that.
everybody, yeah.
It's a good network.
Yeah, all these people.
It's a good
It's a
network.
lifelong network.
Yes.
So let me just tell you something that piqued my interest back in the early to mid 90s.
Yeah.
And I began to see the circle I was getting able to travel in. I was in my 20s or whatever the case might be. I was amazed at the CEOs, the corporate leaders, the people
leader.
literally of all kind of backgrounds, literally open doors just like we have a conversation with, just simply asking, I need to make sure this happened
Okay.
or that happened because these young people need this or that.
They did.
They did it.
Wow.
They did it without fail,
Yes.
without a second thought. This is a different generation. This is a different world we live in. So it takes people to understand, get out of your own skin,
Yes.
get out of your own thought process and your emotions or feelings,
Yes.
and saying that if I volunteer, it's going to take away from me making money or whatever the case might be.
Mm.
Well, what if someone, let's say John Lewis, say, I'm not going to go across this bridge. I'm not going to, John Lewis, a fraternity brother of mine as well. And it was the greatest thrill of my life as a child. I learned about him at 10 years old. Okay.
Louis, right?
Yeah, I learned all about, because my family made sure I was old enough to understand the depth of a whole lot of things. So a childhood hero of mine. And I got a chance to meet him with my two oldest kids in D.C. at his office. You thought we were meeting the prime minister of the world. No lie, we had to wait in line. There was like 20 Germans before us. It was like 18 or 14 of us. because I was with the contingent from Florida. Everybody and their grandmother. Now, mind you, this is a hallway with all those congressmen and everybody. I see nobody in the line. We were in the hallway, standing along a line, a wall. People from all over the world recognized this man. Wow. Think about that. He's one person.
Just one.
You mean the same John Lewis who walked through?
Martin Luther King is one person.
Wow.
Medgar Evers is one person. Malcolm X is one. Those are individuals. Rosa Parks is one person.
One person.
Fannie Lou Hamer is one person.
1% too.
And look at the impact those one persons did
Having on thousands.
in their world.
Yes.
It only takes one person, even to this day, one person to step up, speak up, and say, I'm going to make a change right here.
Yeah, right now.
And that's what they did. Now, some years later, my brother was a commander of those state troopers. He retired, became sheriff for like 10 years. His son just retired as the commander of those state troopers. Wow. And he's also a fraternity brother, my nephew. He took John Lewis across the bridge.
That's amazing.
Wow.
So let y'all, before we continue this, I just want to let you know that Barack Obama is a scout. And Joe Biden. Trump is not bad.
That's a lot. That's a lot of folks. Remember, I'm not involved in politics.
You are not involved in politics.
There's a lot of folks.
There's a lot of people.
I just wanted to let you know.
Okay, thank you for letting
Not
us
me.
know.
He already played the fifth.
I'm not involved in politics, period. But I will tell you, there's a lot of folks. You'd be surprised at who's.
Yes, I was shocked to find out.
There's a gazillion people who are former scouts. You'd be a ton.
That's why this needs to, I feel like you really got to get the government in there. Like, look, hey, we got to get in school.
Excuse me, what is the age limit of people you take in?
They said from 5
5 years old, 20.
to 20. She's 5 over that. I know where you're going to.
It's okay because I'm still a best buddy.
Okay.
Okay.
Without thank you for coming. Or
No.
It was very nice to meet you.
Pleasure meeting you
Thank
as
you
well.
very much. I'm so
Absolutely.
very amazed meeting the first Black, what's the name, CEO.
Scouting America's CEO in a major market.
Major market.
Major,
Yeah. And
yeah.
now we have
market.
2 now. The one in Houston now. It's
in the
But you're
major.
the first though. You.
yeah. In the major market. And the first one, of course, in Chicagoland.
Across Chicagoland. Okay.
Thank you
As
very
well.
much.
Thank you.
And I appreciate the fact that you do play the fifth when it comes to what's in it. Because to lead.
He doesn't do politics. What?
Well, yes, but can I explain it?
No, we do.
I appreciate the fact that he's like that because to lead these kids and stuff, you can't say I'm on this side, on that side, I'm picking on this and stuff like that. You do have to be like that. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, I really appreciate you coming here today. We really appreciate you. And before you go, I would like you to, if you have the addresses of the Chicago branches and like the online platform where people can come in and
absolutely. Just go to pathwaytoadventure.org. Pathwaytoadventure.org. And you'll find all about our offices, our locations. You'll find our website. It tells you about our programming. You got a chance to see advance. You saw our case statement and all that. Every kid that you saw was from this council. It's from Chicagoland.
Wow.
And you saw a rainbow.
A rainbow, everything.
You saw a rainbow.
Yes.
All kids.
All kids, all inclusive.
All religions, all faiths, everybody.
Everybody. Okay. And also there's STEM programs there, so don't be scared. Get involved in it. And I will use this opportunity also to talk to the mothers, to the fathers. Please, please, and please kindly engage your kids in all these educative programs.
African parents, please.
Educative
Get
in this.
Don't think this is something where just, you have to pay for this. No. This is to teach them leadership, to help them. I'm sorry,
No problem. Get them involved in all these educative programs that can help them grow and help them to be able to choose the right path. There's so much going on outside these days. We have the tablet, we have the laptop that are engaged, the phones engaging the kids in something else. But please and please, we're begging you all, get your kids engaged in this program. We are also the leaders of tomorrow or leaders of today, but the kids we can call them the leaders of tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Build their minds. Let them be
the future.
educated.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah, the future.
Okay, I'm being corrected. They are the future.
You have to let them. It don't matter if you're a boy or a girl.
Does not matter.
It does not.
does not matter.
The color.
Now,
No.
it's no more Boy Scout of America. Now,
Scouting
it's
America.
Scouting America. It's all inclusive of all gender. Thank you once more for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you all.
Bye.
Thank you much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.